This story comes from Reddit user Tarzan is my pony. Just found this sub and couldn't stop reading. Felt compelled to share one of my more epic revenge tales from about 8 years ago. TLDR, at the end. At the time I was, M27, a 7-year veteran at large tech corporation, senior designer on the communications team by then. The senior copywriter went on mat leave, leaving a temp in her place. Although irritating in a non-descriptive way, she presented well and seemed competent enough. For later context, she was also an uber dog lover and a staunch and righteous vegan SJW. There were frequent, mutual, and innocent team pranks. Things like replacing a box of diet cookies with a box of Krispy Kremes or covering a laser on someone's mouse. Like, "Oh, you dog, you got me," kind of things. "Now let me fix that and let you get back to work." Being desperate for acceptance, new Temp started taking things a bit far, and seemed to focus pranks directly towards me. Even after a few subtle reprimands from our manager, she continued. Things like slipping inappropriate photos or comments into a PowerPoint presentation. On the shared drive, I was about to give or fake crying during morning stand-up just to gauge reactions. Her novelty wore off fast. Fast forward to the morning after my birthday. She knew I was going to be hungover. I get to my desk, red-eyed and thirsty as hell. Grabbed my water bottle at my desk, which I always kept full, and started chugging like it was going to save my life. It was straight vodka. At least 2 full swallows before I realized I'd go straight for my garbage bin to throw up. The slurry of alphabet soup, at least 6 cans of beer, and God knows what else she put in there, made damn sure I did hurl. I got most of the vodka out, but already being hungover, it made me instantly drunk again. Was not impressed. She came in laughing her brains out, taking full claim. I didn't narc on her, but the story made its rounds to HR, and she was given a stern warning. I would have accepted an apology, even remorse, but not a shred. In fact, she started calling me Pukey McGee to literally no one's fanfare. I let it pass for a few weeks, waiting for the attention to die down. Revenge day finally arrived. She always left at 10 a.m. to get a Starbucks. I took this time to plaster lost dog posters anywhere outside the office she might stumble by on her way back. She fell for the bait, asking around, but no one was the wiser. Once she was cozy at her desk, I went to her car to stage a hit-and-run massacre. With chunks of fatty steak, a liter of fake blood, an old leash and collar, and a bag of fake fur, I went to work. I'd share the pic, but it's long gone, but it was very convincing. Looked like a leash was caught around her rear passenger axle and the dog got clogged and shredded between the tire and wheel well. I left the collar dangling out the back with a particularly generous portion of gore and puddle of blood. It didn't take long before others noticed the lost dog posters or the gory car and put 2 and 2 together. Eventually, the owner of a white so-and-so with license plate such and such, "Please come to reception," went over the intercom. "It's on." It was delicious. She was out in the lot sobbing so hard she was coughing. Carefully placing chunks of bloody, furry, gore into a box. It took her an hour to gather every precious bit, crying the entire time. My theory was that she wanted to return the dog to its owner as best she could before calling the number on the poster. Was a shame there was no owner or dog, but she was too distraught to realize it was fake. I thought for sure the lack of bones or guts, and obviously fake, sticky stage blood, would be a near instant giveaway, but to my utter shock, it wasn't. A scenario I wasn't expecting but welcomed just the same. It was just assumed the dog owner had printed the wrong number on the poster because the remains never were returned. She had the collar and leash cleaned and posted posters of her own in hopes of finding the owner. Given her reputation, there wasn't much sympathy offered. The righteous vegan dog lover was now a dog killer. And I took every chance I could to remind her of that. She took down all her gaudy dog lover crap off her desk and kept very much to herself for the remainder of her term. Bonus that she even left early, but not sure if I can take credit for that for certain. TLDR, office temp replaced my water with straight vodka when I was hungover, so I convinced her and the entire office that she killed a dog. Disclaimer, for those that will likely claim she just liked me and wanted my attention, I assure you, that was not the case. There's way more background than just this story. Even it were, this was in adulthood, not grade school. Edit, thought I should clear a few things up based on the comments. Op is not a vegan, however is a huge animal lover, owns several dogs, cats and has rescued many animals, wild and domestic. Op has nothing against vegans. Just the ones that preach it. Relevant distinction for her personality and subsequent reaction, not the reason for revenge. Steak bits was an easier way of describing a bag of butcher scraps, at the time. To make it clear to the ones that thought this was petty revenge for minor inconveniences, here is a list of some of the more inconvenient pranks. Replacing water with vodka was just the last straw, and is tantamount to poisoning. illegal and quite possibly fatal. Medication alone could seal that deal quite quickly. Hiding car keys then leaving, wasted hours of people's lives but was welcome news to cab companies. Pulling fuses from cars is dangerous, again could be fatal. Brake lights? Headlights? Airbags? All very important, you should think, right? Releasing tire pressure, does your office have an air compressor on hand? Lacing others' presentations with profanity and photos could be career-ending. Not inconvenient to have to check every file before sending or presenting. In hindsight, I do regret not coming clean, the believably was not expected and I froze. But the pranks most definitely stopped. When bullies don't get the point from a passive and apathetic authority, the only route is to pop them straight in the nose, good and hard. Again, to those thinking this was too nuclear, why are you on this sub anyways? There's fight subs I'm sure need your wisdom about non-violence. After this blew up, I reached out to a mutual friend that also worked there. He said she most definitely did catch on. For which I'm actually glad. See number 5, the cleaned up collar poster was her return salvo and to garner sympathy. As mentioned, no bones, no guts, and the fabric backing, with printed barcodes, on the fake fur should have been a giveaway to even marginal intelligence. And she wasn't intellectually stupid by any means.